The Mets weren't going to let yesterday's rain ruin their chances for a parade. They may have had to wait an extra day to open the 2024 season, but some fans have been waiting a lifetime for a championship here in Flushing. With new additions like Harrison Bader and J.D. Martinez, the team that plays in Queens want nothing more than to be the kings of the MLB. At Citi Field, Julia Cavanagh reporting. That one up there represents the first home run of the 2024 season for the Mets. But it also represents the only hit of the day as they lost 3-1 to the Brewers, their first opening day loss since 2020. With new skipper Carlos Mendoza in the dugout and 161 more games to go, it could just be growing pains for the new-look New York Mets. Normally when Steph Curry plays at the Mecca, all eyes focus on him. But tonight is a little bit different. The Knicks were without 4 starters in their 23-point loss to the Pelicans on Tuesday, their second worst of the season. The only one worse, a 24-point loss to the Bucks in early December. Tom Thibodeau says Jalen Brunson should be good to go today, making it the first matchup between Curry and Brunson at the Garden. So from a 2-time MVP to one getting MVP chance nightly, it should be a good one. The Mecca will be rocking. In Madison Square Garden, Julia Cavanagh reporting. MetLife Stadium is normally packed with New York faithful football fans, but this weekend, hockey is taking over with the 2024 NHL Stadium Series. Saturday's game will feature the Flyers and Devils, and the Sunday matinee will feature the Islanders and Rangers. All the action can be found right here on ABC. Home sweet home as the Yankees return to the Bronx for the first time this season, but that wasn't the main story. Usually, it's the big bats that shake the stadium. But today, a 4.8 magnitude earthquake shook the tri-state area. When Gleyber Torres was taking batting practice, the camera began shaking, and third base coach Luis Rojas, along with some players, said this quake felt different.
I felt something, I thought, right? And then, I'm glad to hear it because I know that I'm not going crazy now.
You know, usually you feel a couple of rumbles in this stadium pregame, but that one was a little different.
Despite the 6-1 start to the season and the hot start from Marcus Stroman, the Yankees dropped their home opener to the Blue Jays 3-0. Their first home opener shutout since 1967. From Yankee Stadium, Julia Cavanagh reporting. Don't let the boys in the Bronx get hot. Newly crowned AL Player of the Week, Juan Soto made the most of his first week in pinstripes. A smoking .529 average with 1 long ball and 4 RBIs is just the start New York fans were hoping for. Oh, and one other thing. He's the first Yankee since at least 1961 to knock in the go-ahead run in 3 of his first 4 games. The 4-0 Yanks are on the express train to victory lane. So what does this mean for the rest of the MLB, Juan?
I don't know if we're sending a message, but definitely we're playing hard every day, and we're playing all the 27 ounce, and that's what we've been doing this series, and that's what we did, and more than excited to keep going.
Across the boroughs at Citi Field, the Mets and Tigers duel in a battle of undefeated versus winless. The Mets, of course, representing the latter. To make matters worse, starting pitcher Tyler McGill landed a spot on the injured list today with a right shoulder strain, and reliever Yohan Ramirez begins serving his 2-game suspension tonight as well. A flashback to happier times for the Mets. World Series champ Doc Gooden will have his number 16 retired by the Amazons on Sunday, April 14th, a day that has been a long time coming.
It means a lot because it's the highest honor you can get from a team, and to be up there with like Keith, who I play with, Darryl, who's coming later in the year, we all play with. And it's just, that'll be 3 guys from the 86 team, but it represents the entire team. And to have my name up there and my number up there, something that no matter what, that can never be taken away from you. This could be a great day, and that's why I always say I look at that day as a celebration.
We are just over 3 weeks away from the NFL draft. The Jets have the 10th overall pick, and it's safe to say they won't be looking for a pass rusher. After coming over in a trade from the Eagles, Hassan Reddick says he'll fit right in wearing his new shade of green.
I know what I bring. I know the juice that I'm going to bring and the energy, and hopefully it's contagious and rubs off on the guys. And I can, pretty much guarantee it's going to be some great ball being played.
It's a big night for the UConn Huskies. After the men's team punched their ticket to the Final Four on Saturday, the women's team can do the same tonight with a win over USC. It's a 9 o'clock tip-off over on ESPN. To the NBA, where after a heartbreaking loss for the Knicks last night, the NBA confirming there was no foul on Jalen Brunson's driving layup that gave the Knicks this lead with seconds remaining. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander spoiled the garden party moments later with a baseline dagger that Brunson tried to emulate on the other end at the buzzer to no success. The Knicks are still awaiting the return of Julius Randle and OG Anunoby, but Josh Hart implied that might be wishful thinking.
This is a team that we're going to have, I think that's how, we have to approach it, that those guys, aren't coming back, and then obviously we'll be pleasantly surprised if they come back. We got to approach it every game and the end of the season that, those guys aren't coming back, and if they do, be pleasantly surprised.
Father time? LeBron James says, I'll pass. The 39-year-old King tied a career high last night, hitting 9 3-pointers, yes, 9, in a win over the Nets in Brooklyn. Believe it or not, he's in his 21st NBA season, which begs the question, hey LeBron, how much longer are you going to keep playing?
I'm not going to play another 21 years, that's for damn sure, but not very long. I don't know when that door will close as far as when I retire, but I don't have much time left.
Well, we'll see about that. That's all in sports. Julia Cavanagh for ABC 7 Eyewitness News.